Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So, some time ago in 2023, I was posting on this crappy site called Mathforums, and there's this fucking anonymous idiot here called Old Maths Guy who lives in France. I don't know who it is, and he's too much of a coward to say who he is, but he's got this funny face here, and he can post any messages he likes without any fear of being banned. So he got on my nerves, I swore at him, and I got banned because he's such a fucking ignorant asshole. All right? Now, okay, let me calm down now. Let me explain to you what this fool and other similar fools like Marcus Kleiber said about the new calculus derivative. So when you have, remember I talked about this in a previous video, I think 2 videos ago, and somebody was saying, well, how do you know which is the derivative and which is the slope difference? Well, it's very easy to find out. If you have any expression that contains m and n and it doesn't give you 0, then you don't have the derivative. Okay. So in other words, a proof that this is the slope difference is by putting in the correct m and n. How do you know? Well, let's see. So I've drawn the function here of 1 over x, okay? And I've drawn m and n, as you see at the bottom here. See, m and n. And I move them along, right? Now notice, doesn't matter how I move these along, the value will always be 0. Okay, so I know that that is the slope difference, all right? And by the way, it's provable in the single variable new calculus. There's a proof of that, but that's neither here nor there. Let's continue. So you may say, well, how can I prove otherwise? Well, listen, idiot. Try this m and n for any other value of x. So I'm using x here as 1. Okay, let's try 0.5. Oops, do you see there? Minus 16.69. That's not 0. Okay, so this m and n pertains to this distance here, okay? And doesn't matter how many m pairs I have, the difference, okay, will always be 0, all right? Always. Okay, so what I'd like you to know is that, let's just see what happens there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I suppose that if you move this guy here, it may not, no, it does. Okay, something wrong with GeoGebra. But anyway, it's always 0. Okay, so it doesn't matter how you move this along. The mn pairs that you have over here will always make this expression with this x here equal to 1, 0. And it doesn't matter what you put in there. Okay, like I said, let's take a different mn pair over there. And let's try putting 1 in there. We've got 0.5. We know it's not true. It's not the correct value. Let's try that. It's also not the correct value because x is not at 1. See? So there's a relationship between these horizontal distances. Unlike what these morons like Marcus Kleiber from Sweden tell you and all the others that this isn't a proof. And also another idiot on this forum here who calls himself Dan, a total idiot. I mean, not even worth arguing with. But if you look at this file where I've given you plenty of examples on how to use the new calculus derivative, I've done it with all the common functions. You'll see that it works, and you can try using these functions, these auxiliary equation functions, which, by the way, they have a particular form. So, and you can use them for a lot of things. But let's just make that one visible. So, as you can see over here, this gray function. Let's get that right out of the way. This gray function here is the auxiliary equation, and you can do a lot of things with it. Okay, you can recognize images in 100,000th of the time that it takes for any other normal image recognition that is available today. And it doesn't matter what the image is, okay? It doesn't matter what the color is, what the positioning is. As long as it has a reference to be matched against, you will always get the correct recognition. In other words, it's impossible to fail this algorithm. And it doesn't mean that you need to use this particular function. You can use any function you like. You can use a simple function such as a quadratic formula, okay? There are other uses, but that's one of the brilliant uses that you can use this auxiliary equation. So it's always zero, right? Doesn't matter where you are, okay? And you can try calculating these values. I will place a link to this in the detail section so that you can download this applet and play with it. Now, all you have to do if you've got a different function is you change f of x to your function, and you come down here and you can type in your function over here, q of x. So I've put m and n inside there just to simplify things. I could have passed them also as parameters, but they do vary. As you can see here, they do vary according to where you are. So all you have to put in this function is your point of tangency, okay? 1 or a half, okay? So if you put a half in now and you type a half in there, that's 0, see? So you will get the correct value regardless of what you do. So I do know better because I'm a genius. And these effing idiots on Mathforums who banned me, like this cancer, this cankerous piece of crap, whoever it is, maybe Jean-Pierre Massager, I don't know, doesn't know shit. So one look at what he comments here. He says, so some guy asked if there are any other arguments against, because any other arguments against the mainstream calculus. It says, hi, I'm writing about the history of calculus. I finished explaining how calculus was formed by them, but now I need to bring arguments and need to add my own thoughts. For example, mathematicians have accepted not mathematicians, mathematicians have accepted Cauchy's method as a rigor of foundation. But what would Berkeley have to say? So this idiot here is saying that I would produce Berkeleyan arguments. Well, actually, no, that's praising Berkeley. Berkeley did not have my intelligence. Okay, so that would be paying a compliment to Berkeley. Yes, he would have arguments, but there'd be nowhere as good as mine. I explained what Berkeley couldn't explain, you effing morons. Where did I explain it? In the holy grail of calculus. Cauchy didn't rigorize his ass. What Cauchy did was obfuscate and confuse and muck up the formulation of calculus with his infinite and infinitesimal bullshit. Okay, remember that. Cauchy didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And I have to use that language because I'm angry at mainstream mathematics academics who think they know better than me, okay? So there are 6 simple reasons why mainstream calculus formulation is flawed. And I will place a link to that too in the detail section. So I'll give you a link to this article so that you can study these examples here, okay, and see that I'm right and that I know what I'm talking about and that you, in all probability, are an idiot if you've ever criticized me. I am smarter than you. Just get used to it. Deal with it. When I tell you something, I know what the hell I'm talking about. You don't. So be careful. Don't put comments in my comment section that make you seem as if you know better. You don't know better. I don't care who you are. You can be a Fields Medal winner. You can be an Abel Prize winner. You're an idiot compared to my intelligence. It's not arrogance. It's not hubris. It's not narcissism. It's a fact. And there's a difference between fact and belief. I don't believe in anything. I only accept facts. I hate the word belief. Okay, your mainstream mathematics is a religion because it relies on beliefs, in particular, the 9 bullshit beliefs of ZFC. Okay, so I think I've spoken enough on this. I will now end this by asking you to click like, because I have many enemies, to become a follower, also to become a follower on academia.edu. Tell your friends about this. Tell everyone about this, by the way, because the mainstream community has been fighting against me, the bastards of them, the vile scum of the mainstream community. Every single one of them, maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, have been fighting me right from the beginning. Okay. What I give you is the first rigorous formulation of calculus in the new calculus. And then I didn't stop there. I fixed your bullshit mainstream formulation with the holy grail of calculus. There'll also be a link to that in the detail section. I'm John Gabriel, and this is a new calculus channel. Till next time, goodbye.